Hi, I'm Sean Kokoska, president of Empire Builders. Today, we're going to be talking about how to overcome the fear of calling prospects and generating leads for your business. And I'm joined today by our executive vice president, Mr. Don Hobbs. Don, welcome to our webinar.
Hey, thanks, Sean. I'm glad we're both here today. It's going to be a fun time with our viewers and to give them a real taste of where they can go if they really make this a study.
Yes, and the first thing that we're going to be talking about today is how to open a conversation with a cold prospect. You know, it's always been my opinion that gratitude is an energy that's going to tear down the walls between you and your prospect. So I always start every cold call with "Thank you for taking my call." Meaning, hi, this is Sean Kokoska with Empire Builders. We do business models and training. Thank you for taking my call. Now, Don, why do you suppose I start off that way?
Well, the biggest thing, Sean, is that it disarms people. I mean, really, people coming from that place of contribution and gratitude, having an open heart really starts the conversation off warm and makes it more friendly.
There's no doubt about that. And
Yeah.
when you express gratitude, it almost creates that law of reciprocity. Meaning, I'm thanking you. It makes you feel like you need to thank me, which is a good thing, no doubt about it. Now, you mentioned come from contribution. Don, what does that mean to you as it relates to prospecting for leads for your business?
Well, when I come from contribution, I come from a place of I'm giving. I'm coming from a place of bringing you something instead of from a place of selling you or wanting something from you. I'm really coming from a place of I've got something that I want to give to you. I want to be of service to you. I'm here with a servant's heart and open hands.
I love it. And give us an example of what you might say to a cold prospect.
Well, I really want to be of value to you, and today I just wanted to entertain, what you're doing, find out more about what you're doing, and see how I can contribute and add value to your day, to your business, to your, whatever that might be, whatever the proposition is in that situation.
Yes. Now, we've started into the how-to. Let's talk first about the fear around calling. And we all instinctively understand that the reason why people don't want to generate leads is because of this fear of rejection, this fear of maybe not looking good, not being right. So let's talk about this for a moment, because there's two forces that cause us to feel that way. Number one is either the avoidance of pain, right? I don't know about you, yet if somebody hangs up the phone on me, calls me a jerk, well, that's painful to me. So if I focus on that pain, well, then I'm never going to pick up the phone. In fact, this thing, it's going to weigh like 2,000 pounds. You follow me, right? I'm not going to pick up the phone. So rather, we have to focus our energy and our attention on not lead generating. See, what happens if you don't lead generate in your business? Well, obviously, you have no business. Agreed?
Exactly.
And if you have no business, you have no income, right? Especially for us that are commissioned based, right? Yet, if I have no income, is that painful? Well, of course it is. Let's say you had a loan on your car and the car note is due. If you can't make the car payment for a couple of months in a row, what happens to the car? they come and take it from you. Is that painful? Of course it is. Now, let's say you had a mortgage on your house and you couldn't make the mortgage payment for several months in a row. What happens? Well, of course, they're going to foreclose on it. They're going to take your home from you and kick you out. Is that painful? Of course it is. Now, please understand this and take it in the spirit that I mean it, ladies and gentlemen, is that my intention is to add so much pain to not doing it that the pain of actually doing it goes away. So let me ask you this. How would your friends, how would your family, how would they view you if you couldn't make it in the business that you're in as a salesperson? Is that painful? See, to me, that's the ultimate pain, right? I don't want to disappoint the people that I love. So when I focus my energy, my attention on the pain of not doing the action, meaning lead generating every single day, plus then focus my attention on the pleasure I receive from actually doing the work. See, understand, it's more than just a commission check. There's no doubt about that. Think about it. You get to come from contribution. You get to help people accomplish their goals. You get to create relationships, even friendships that you didn't have before. So when you focus your energy and attention on not doing it, plus focus on the pleasure you get from it, what happens to the pain over here of actually doing it, picking up this phone and making it happen? What happens to that pain? Well, it simply melts away. Now, I'm here to tell you one thing that I know for sure, and I've experienced it so many times in my life, and that is that 90% of success is simply showing up, meaning having the guts, having the confidence in yourself to pick up the phone and make the call. 90% of that success is just showing up. Even somebody who doesn't have skill, if they talk to enough people, well, they're going to do a lot of business. In fact, those people that are really successful in sales, all they've done is increase their failure quotient, meaning they fail more often than anybody else. See, when we look at this word no, I want you to think about like when you go into a department store or a mall, or let's say Needless Markup, or I mean Neiman Marcus, and you go into Neiman Marcus, and you're standing there at the clothes racks, and the salesperson comes up and says, "May I help you?" Right? And you say, "No, I'm just looking."
Right.
Now, how would you feel about that salesperson if they ran off to the corner and started bawling their eyes out and saying, "I can't ask another person if I can help them because they're just going to reject me"? Right? You'd think there was a screw loose, right? Something's going crazy with this person, because that's not how a normal person should react. Yet, aren't you just like them? You're asking people, "Can I help you?" And aren't they just like you by saying, "No, no, thank you, not right now," right? See, every no, you're that much closer to a yes. Every no, you're that much closer to a yes. In fact, look at it like this way. Let's say you had to talk to 100 people to get one sale made. And that one sale, though, is going to give you, well, let's say $2,000. Now, in a $2,000 commission scenario, you had to get 99 no's before you got your first yes. How much is each contact worth? It's $20. So whenever they say no, or even if they hang up the phone on you, you could just simply say, "Thanks for the $20, right? Because every contact is worth something. So back to the topic at hand. How do you open a conversation with a cold prospect? I mean, thanking them for the call, coming from contribution, adding value to them. So I want you to think, what are the benefits associated to doing business with you? Now, I'm not talking about benefits for you. I'm talking about benefits for the prospect. So, Don, as I'm talking, what's coming to your mind?
Well, and Sean, I was wanting to backtrack because I think that topic you were on, and let's hit that one more second here, because I believe that topic you're on is, depending upon who our audience is, we don't know for sure who's watching this, but what I do know is that most people don't see themselves as having to make those calls. Like, we don't see ourselves being in the lead generation business. So I want to really emphasize what you just said, because we think of that as maybe in sales roles only, and yet as an entrepreneur, who's in charge of getting the business? Who's in charge of bringing the clients in? Who's in charge of making it happen? If I don't have anything happening, I'm the one who's not doing it, right? So as much as we'd like to focus on that which we're really good at in the business we're in, I'm a consultant in a certain field, I have a certain kind of business, I make something. That's great. What you do is powerful. What you do is exceptional. What you do is maybe the greatest of all people doing that. And if nobody knows it and you're not making the calls, you've still got no business. So I want to just make sure that people understand that what you're talking about really is, getting that phone to the ear, or walking out into the world and making ourselves be seen is really the single secret to being successful in business. It's where it all starts. Yeah, so I didn't want to miss that opportunity to say, this is a big deal.
It is a big deal. There's no doubt about that. And we've been talking a little bit about the mindset that's appropriate to actually want to pick up the call. Now, and oftentimes, the one thing that's lacking from a salesperson and increasing their performance is accountability. Now, we wrote the BOLD Business Program, which stands for Business Objective Life by Design. Now, 90% of that is obtaining the right mindset, improving self-confidence. Right. Increasing your money mindset or your financial thermostat, raising the heat on that a little bit so that you have the mindset to make the amount of money you deserve to make. Additionally, we'll hold you highly accountable to doing the work with the relentless pursuit of leads throughout this process and holding you accountable to it, putting you on a team that's going to hold you accountable to do it. And I'll just encourage you to go to empirebuilderstraining.com and just check out our BOLD program. We've had over 65,000 graduates of this program, and it's phenomenal. I don't know what else I could say about it yet. Just get in that room. It's life-changing.
It's the program of the millennium, probably, Sean. Honestly,
I absolutely agree.
It is that good, that powerful. So yeah, please check that out and make sure that you get a good look at it. You had asked a question, and I'm sorry because I was really thinking about that lead gen and thinking about how powerful it is we overlook that. We talk about how to do a lot of things in business, and we just don't get to that place of how do we generate the business that we need. So you had asked a question, and I'm not sure where you'd gone with that, but let's go there. What was that?
What would you say to a prospect? How do you get on the phone? I mean, what's going to overcome that fear of picking up the call, and how do you open the conversation with somebody who doesn't even know who you are, right? So in your role as Executive Vice President of Empire Builders, Don, how would you start a cold call?
Well, often, first of all, I'm a big fan, and in Bold we teach this, how to build referrals, and I'm a big fan of how to generate business through the business that I've already got. So I'd like to think that I'm not making a lot of cold calls, and yet when I'm making the call that with somebody that I don't know directly, but perhaps indirectly, there's always that wanting to introduce myself. I'm Don Hobbs with Empire Builders, Executive Vice President of Empire Builders, and we have a mutual friend. A lot of times I'll use that because the friendship, I can borrow the relationship, right? There's a lot of knowing how we both have this mutual friend, and I think the biggest part that I want to get to is I want to make sure that I'm cognizant of their time. I value their time. So is this a great time for us to talk? I'd like to have a few minutes with you to find out more about your business, to see how I can bring value to what you do. We've got great programs, but it doesn't matter if it's not what's going to help you. And so I'll most often go to the investigative. Tell me more about you. But the first thing I want to do is make sure that they actually have the time to do that. So let's be real cognizant. Let's be real courteous. And make sure, and if now is not the time, in fact, a lot of times I'll be making calls to make appointments so that we can spend the quality time that will get us where we want to go, because I want to make sure they're really with me, that there's not just a passing, and by the way, they're reading other emails and they're checking out other stuff, and that's the world we live in, right? They're distracted, and I want to make sure that they're with me.
Excellent, Don. I want to make two really quick points about what you said. The first was you make it all about them. What are your needs? How can I help you? How can I add value to you? What's going on in your business? And let's make it all about them, because what's their favorite subject to talk about?
Absolutely them.
It's absolutely them. And the next thing I wanted to bring up is you're going to want to mirror and match the prospect. Much of this lead generation is done telephonically. So 55% of our ability to connect with them, well, it's gone, because 55% of our ability to connect is based on body language. 38% is tonality, rate of speech, and inflection, and then 7% is the words that we use. So don't get too caught up in the words that you're using. 90% of success is simply showing up. Yet, if they talk slow, I want you to talk slow. If they talk fast, I want you to talk really fast, right? And pick up your role a little bit. Do that for at least the first 30 seconds of each phone call. Then you can kind of gravitate to your natural pace of presentation, yet see if they follow you. See if they begin to mirror and match you, because none of the sales strategies that we teach in Bold, such as modal operators, embedded commands, adverb presuppositions, pacing and leading strategies, or cause and effect language, which are NLP language patterns that cause your prospect to want to work with you, none of that stuff works until you're in rapport. So you're going to want to focus on getting in rapport with the individual.
And Sean, one point that you made there too is, I want to make sure that I'm using the same kinds of words they're using too. If a guy's like awesome, or what the words that you'll hear that come out again and again, use those same words, feed them right back to them again. It makes it very powerful. And again, that mirroring and matching is much overlooked, much undervalued, and such a key role or key part of what we're doing when we build rapport with people that we're on the phone with.
Yes. And that's keyword backtracking. So use their same words and bring it right back to them, because what it does is it pulls you into rapport. So I trust that you've all enjoyed watching this. I trust you got something out of it. Don, is there anything you want to add?
Oh, I think it's powerful. We want to make sure that you get to empirebuilderstraining.com and check out the Bold Sales Performance Program. I made the comment in passing, and that it's the program of the millennium, and honestly, it is really that good. I've been in the industry for 39 years. Sean, you've trained thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. I've trained tens of thousands of people, and Bold honestly is in a different place, a different category of training, and I'd love for people to take a look at that.
Excellent. Thank you again for your time. Until we talk again next time, be on purpose. Focus on your priority and be powerful.